In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to use if statements. So I've got a shopping cart application. I'll go ahead and run it. And all it does is check to see how many shirts Mary wants and then display that, and then also display the total cost with tax based on the number of shirts that she wants to purchase. Now here's the thing. If Mary wanted to purchase one shirt, this would be great. But because she wants to purchase more than one, we want to be able to add that S to the word shirt if she purchases more than one shirt. I also want to check and see whether that shirt is in or out of stock. So we're going to use a couple of if statements here to accomplish that. Now I'll start by creating a new variable called Boolean. It's going to be a Boolean type, stock status. I'm not going to assign a value to it here. I'm going to do that below. But we want to set up that Boolean variable just to see whether that shirt is in stock or not, and then display an appropriate message. Now, what I want to do down here is I want to go ahead after I've calculated the total and use an if statement to check the quantity. So if quantity is greater than 1, we want to see if it's greater than 1, because if it is, we want to add an S. So inside the braces, message equals message plus S. So all we're going to do here is just add an S to the end of the message, which is, in this case, item description. So we'll show multiple shirts. Let's go ahead and just run that and make sure it works. Okay, so there you go. It's properly shown now. Now, just to make sure that works properly, let's go ahead and change the value of quantity of shirts to 1 and run it again. Okay, so our if statement's working great. I'll change that back to 2. Now, again, what we want to do here is test the stock status. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and set the stock status equals false, and then create another if statement. If stock status. Now, there's a couple of different ways we can do this. I could actually use an equals, double equals, and check to see whether it's true or false. But if we just use if stock status, that's going to check and see whether or not it's a true value. So if a true value is returned here, I'll go ahead and put in my braces. If stock status equals true, then .out.println in stock, and then create an else statement here. Put in our opening closing braces, system.out.println out of stock. So again, this method, if stock status, is going to check for a true, and if it's true, it's going to tell us that it's in stock. Otherwise, if it's not true, it's obviously false, which we know it is, and we'll get an out of stock message. So let's go ahead and run that again. Okay, so there you go. We're out of stock. So I'll go ahead and change that to true. So we'll get an in stock message the next time we run it. And finally, what I want to do here, okay, jump back to just after I finished demonstrating that result. Or just after I finished changing that to true. Okay, so now that that's true, let's go ahead and run it again and try this. Okay, great. Now we see that it's in stock, that Mary wants to purchase 2 shirts with a total cost there. And that's how you use if statements in Java. It's a really useful method of being able to test certain conditions, in this example, to test whether or not the item is in or out of stock, and whether or not Mary ordered multiple shirts, in which case we modified that line so it's grammatically correct.